Howdy, everyone. Tad Stevens on the Micro Success Secrets podcast, where we focus on business, psychology, and marketing, and how you can use that in your business daily and long term. Today, I'm talking with Mike Vaughn, who grew up in upstate New York, transferred to Michigan back in 1987, and cut his teeth out of college with the division of Dow Chemical. He has been a broker for over 30 years and left the corporated life in his late 20s when he opened his company in 1993. He enjoys working out, yoga, golf, avid sports fan, likes traveling to northern Michigan, Florida, and San Diego. So, Mike, how you doing this morning? Feel free to introduce yourself and let me know anything I missed.
I'm good, Tad. I want to thank you for the invite, for the opportunity to interview with you and your group this morning. Yeah, no, you pretty much hit everything. We about 6 years ago bought into a group called Empire Business Brokers. So we're in the middle of a new brand name change. We now go by Empire Global Business Solutions. And we are proud to announce that we're part of two different global networks. First and foremost, it's the Empire Business Broker Group, which is about 85 offices in specializing in the transaction side. And then we also have a global network affiliation with what's called the Certified Value Builder Network. And that's where the two kind of intertwine, as we have a unique process that has a 70 to 80% success rate when we take a business to market, specifically because of our internal due diligence process that involves value inhibitors, attractiveness, and business readiness, both on the owner's personal side and the business side.
All right, super, excellent. So let's get in to a couple questions. And the first one I like, I don't know where I got it from, but I always like to lead with it. But in your business or your personal life, probably maybe more related to business just for the listeners, if you could go back into your business life and you could change one thing that you did, first off, would you change it? And if you would change it, what would you change it to?
Yeah, I mean, when I look back, if there's one change I could make, would be to start working on my weaknesses sooner in life. If I go back to right out of high school, I'd have gone into journalism school, learned how to write, and followed my heart of wanting to be a sports broadcaster. So if there's any one message for me, I'm a karma guy. I'm a believer that things happen for you, not to you. So it's big on mindset and how you react to the when one door closes, another one's going to open.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm a big mindset guy. The best thing I ever did a year ago was hire a business coach, because he gave me the tools to really look in the mirror and help me realize what I needed to start doing on a daily basis, which is really using the pen and paper and starting to write things down more.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that actually, you've perfectly led into my next question. And this may be or what you just said about the business coach may be the answer. But if you had one life's decision that was just super positive, and if you got two, I mean, two's fine too. But if you've got one or two life decisions that were super positive, it's one of those things where you look at it, everything, you remember everything before it and after it. It's kind of like a defining point for parts of you. Do you have one of those that you'd share? Is that the business coach?
Well, I think I'd go back to 1993 when it was just following my dream of always wanting to be my own boss.
Okay.
So when I left the corporate world, I mean, like you mentioned, I started with a division of Dow Chemical. I then went to GE Plastics after I got transferred to Detroit. Then I finished with a company called Ashland Chemical. So when I gave up the corporate world and the company car and the expense account that everybody thinks is great,
yeah,
I went back behind the bar in downtown Detroit, went to bartending school, and worked Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and got into the straight commission world. Back then, it was in telecom. So yeah. I'm that guy that's always looking for multiple streams of income. And I got into telecom. Realized after 3 or 4 years, I'm sold on residual income. of only getting to $5,000 a month after 3 years, I realized it just wasn't the path I wanted to continue
Right.
to follow, as well as being the type of business where it's just a race to the bottom. It's a price sensitive. So
Yeah.
that's when I went and got my real estate license, got into the industrial game, because that's another thing I've done for over 30 years is that I've called on the manufacturing community. I just liked that part of the industry. So yeah, that being said, that really was one of the defining key moments that I'll always be proud of, is making that leap to straight commission.
Okay, super. All right. Well, and this kind of relates to that a little bit, is that we, especially entrepreneurs, I mean, guys like you and I, people that are creative, that are out there always looking, is the way maybe I like to say it best. But as we're looking at these things, a lot of decisions come up. Sometimes they're big decisions, sometimes they're small decisions. How do you deal with those as far as continuing to move through the decision into what do you have any, like if you get stuck, like you come upon us, like when you're looking to go maybe into telecom, you think, oh, should I go to telecom? Should I not? Do you have a process or a method or tools or tips that you could share on how you approach those and what you do?
Well, typically I'm a very instinctive guy, but also I've become a fan of the law of attraction.
Okay.
And I meditate, where I used to make really quick decisions. When some of those didn't work out, because I've learned a lot more from what I failed.
Yeah, we all do. Yes. Or hopefully.
I was fortunate enough. I grew up in a small town. I played 3 sports in high school. I had the cheerleader as the girlfriend. I just always, if we won or lost, I wanted the ball to be in my hands.
I know that feeling too. Yeah.
So I never really wanted to depend on anybody else for my success. But what I've also realized is I'm a big believer in the Fab Five, in the fact that the people you surround yourself with, both personally and business wise, when I like to put people that are more successful around me. I've got a couple close friends that are already multimillionaires. They've sold their businesses. So the more I can learn and listen and pull from successful people, and again, I'm going to refer to mindset, how you show up every day and what you feed your thoughts with. During the pandemic, I believe the pandemic will be the best thing that ever happened to me personally.
Okay.
Because it helped me refocus on the type of person I want to be and how I want to help business owners and the everyday employee really find their passion and figure out what's best for them moving forward.
That is excellent. I love that outlook about just the pandemic and how to go and how to look forward. And I want to ask you kind of an offside question. Have you ever heard the quote by Robert De Niro, who says that if you're the smartest person in the room, then you're in the wrong room?
Oh, I agree completely. I mean,
I love that.
The more I'm involved in sales, I mean, I'm 56 years old now. I really like to engage and ask questions like you're doing, where you get inside the mind of business owners and people and connect with them on a personal level of really what motivates them and what their passions are. And that's really what led to me starting an online business now during the pandemic. For over 20 years, I've been looking for an online business. And now I've found a platform that really educates. It's got mentoring, live and tutorial, and it's got all the resources you need for those people who are looking to start an online business as well.
Okay. Well, I mean, let's definitely talk about that. I got one more question that it relates to that to me in a way. But if you had to start from scratch today, given what you know, the resources that you have, what would you do? What would be the next thing you did if you had to start from scratch with the knowledge and the resources that you currently have?
Yeah, I'm actually kind of right in the middle of it. I
love it. That's why I thought it might fit.
I've just invested another $50,000 in me and in business partnerships. This online business is going to be a key component. and starting a YouTube channel. And then in my M&A business, I've got a lot going on LinkedIn now, and everything seems to be going to video, social media platforms.
Oh yeah.
So that's what I'm in the process of doing as we speak. I just enjoy the challenge. I'm a guy, I've got ADD. I'm a guy that has to be constantly learning. Or,
You and me both, yeah.
So the pandemic, because I'm an avid sports guy and I'm a movie buff, I've spent too much time at night watching TV where I'll binge watch. And now what's my passion for wanting to help I'm obsessed with freedom and transparency. And those two passions are leading me to want to educate business owners, educate other guys like me that want multiple streams of income and don't think about retiring. They think about surrounding themselves with people that have the same goals and desires that they do.
Oh, excellent. I think that is an excellent view. And it's a great segue again into the next piece, which we're going to close out the interview now. That's the last question I have. But if you would, let us know anything that you want to close with, but also anything that you have to offer to the viewers and listeners, which was kind of where we were going right before now. But if you would, let us know that now.
Well, on the M&A side, for business owners, we've got multiple ebooks, 8 ways to create and pivot during a pandemic, the difference between being rich and famous. So we've got some tools, back office tools and ebooks that I can share with business owners. And then for the 1099 people, the independent contractors, the straight commission real estate people, sales professionals that are already goal-oriented where they're looking to make 6 figures, I've got a website called MikeVaughnVision.com. Again, MikeVaughnVision.com, where it has free video tutorials and educational modules, where there's a couple of modules you can get involved and see if you connect. So that's what's become really valuable to me, because I'm a guy in the past that's really depended heavily on an executive assistant. My technical skills are very limited, but both my resources now have all the personnel in place and the team in place that whatever that weakness or that need is, I can point either the business owner or the individual in the right direction.
All right, super. I mean, that is excellent, and we'll make sure that all of that is in the show notes below, and in the description for anywhere we post the video. Oh, but one other thing is, you mentioned Value Builder, and I've seen that around a little bit. Could you say something about that just real quick?
Yeah,
how you use
Builder.
it?
Now, the Value Builder, the other key component to that is, again, similar to Empire Business Brokers. It's an affiliation of a bunch of different office owners. They own their own offices, just like you and I do. That they're strategically located. I've got 2 affiliations in Australia, 3 in Canada, and then 1 in California, 1 in Texas, 1 in DC, 2 in Florida. So we're all spaced out, and we each have our own specialty where we talk about value inhibitors. What are the 8 key components for a business owner that can help him look in the mirror and grow and learn and understand, hey, the value of a mentor, whether it's a business coach, a business advisor. And then I have another database that talks about business attractiveness. I'm the kind of guy that likes to give somebody a couple of opinions. So we want to be able to share the resources. We do what's called an industry benchmark, which can give a guy, a financial guy, where he ranks based on his NAIC code for every line item of his P&L.
Oh, nice.
And then give the normal cash flow, EBITDA, adjusted cash flow, adjusted EBITDA numbers. So when we get done with that, that's why we have such a high rate of success. We're basically doing the internal due diligence that a buyer would do after you tie it up. Because 6 years ago, when I got into the industry, only 1 out of 4 businesses would sell. And when I took 3 different businesses to market that took me 3 years to sell, I decided then, hey, there's got to be a better way.
There's a better way to do this. Yeah.
So for those companies that are 2 to 30 million in revenue, we got a more economical way for them to realize what they're worth and why they're worth what they are before they make a decision if they want to go to market. Because if they don't like their number, then we got platforms that can help them get them.
Then you got stuff that, that can work to that. Oh,
and then ultimately give them a freedom of choice, because that's what I'm all about too. Because if an owner in 5 years, or within 3 to 5 years, if I can get that business to where it runs itself and he only has to check in on it once a week, then that gives them a choice to either reap the benefits of it running itself or selling it.
Yeah. Oh, that's excellent. That is excellent. Okay, Mike, thank you very, very much for taking your time and sharing today. Really, really appreciate it. Thanks everybody for listening. Appreciate your time as well. Have a safe and productive week and be the very, very best at whatever you are doing. Until next time, this is Tad Stevens with Micro Success Secrets. Bye for now.